watching the award-winning GHS TV, Germantown Community Television, your hometown news and information station.
Welcome back. With us now is Judge Phyllis Gardner. We're talking about the General Sessions Court of Shelby County. Judge Gardner, one question I always hear from attorneys and just people, they're like, well, how did that person become a judge? So what was the process, I guess, for you and just the general process for someone who would want to become a judge?
Well, certainly high school, college degree, and then a Juris Doctorate, 3 years. You have to graduate from law school and then pass the bar and be a member of the Tennessee bar. In addition, depending on the area of expertise, you certainly have to, I think it's usually best to have had some experience. For my part, I was a prosecutor in the district attorney's office for 23 years. A lot of trial experience, a lot of wonderful in-court experience, training by some of the best people, best lawyers you could ever imagine, and some of the best judges who groom you. And you start out raw, as you well know, and then you develop and you become better and better. And instead of being able to, for example, return with one stroke, you figure out which stroke you want, and you learn, and as you do that, you gather experience, and I think you gather credibility in what you do. I was very fortunate after 23 years in the DA's office that I became a General Sessions civil judge, changing from criminal to civil. And the way that that came about was by a vacancy that was created by Judge Bill Hackett when he retired. And the way a General Sessions judge is appointed is by the county commission. I appeared before the county commission, and I was so happy I was unanimously selected in February 2002. So I've been on the bench 7 years. And the proviso is you're selected by the county commission, but you don't just sit in that place. You must run for election in the next general election. With my appointment, I was appointed in February and was on the ballot in August, which was a very quick turnaround. I hit the ground running. I not only was a judge, and I was running to hold on to the seat, which I really wanted to do and was very, very pleased with the outcome. And then a couple of years later, I ran for my own 8-year term. And so I'll run again in, say, 5 more years. But right now it's very interesting. We were all very saddened with the death of Judge Anthony Johnson, creating a vacancy in General Sessions criminal. And I understand that they've had interviews and that there's some 15 or so people who are seeking that position, and they will appear, I believe, Monday, in the coming week, before the county commission, and they'll make a selection. And then that person will have to run in the next general election, which I guess would be in 2010.
Okay. Yeah, and since we're mentioning Judge Johnson and the criminal side of General Sessions, what all goes on over there? Because it always seems like a madhouse.
You should read me my rights. General Sessions criminal is a wonderful court and serves a tremendous purpose. It allows a screening by the district attorney's office when they're making their charges initially on the front end. Many cases are dealt with in General Sessions criminal. These cases never go to criminal court. And so there's so much work that is done by so many people. Pretrial services is involved. Judge Tim Dwyer is involved with his drug court, in which he has saved so many lives and rehabilitated so many people. I mean, people I know about through the courts and personally, and makes a difference. There's so much that can be done in General Sessions. And then cases that cannot be handled in General Sessions and the more serious felonies will be bound over to the action of the grand jury. Those people in General Sessions are entitled to a preliminary hearing if they wish to have one, or they can waive their case and take it on up to the grand jury, allow the grand jury, and if those people are indicted, they will be handled in the criminal courts of Shelby County over in 201 Poplar. So General Sessions criminal serves a huge purpose. Very hard-working judges, very hard-working personnel over there, the public defender's office, the district attorney's office, and the private lawyers. A lot is done over there.
Well, and the other thing is I know walking through the civil courthouse so many times, I see somebody that walks in there with a ticket and they're confused as to which division they're in. It's like, you're over in the other building there.
Absolutely. So. They're either going to be in city court or in one of the divisions of General Sessions criminal. And so that's the thing. When many times meeting people, they ask me two things. Do you handle tickets, and are you like Judge Judy? And my answer to both is no.
Well, I don't think many people are like Judge Judy personality either.
I don't wear that doily around my neck. That's one of the first differences. But she's good entertainment, but that's not how a court is handled. I don't think that you diminish people or browbeat them when you're in a position of power. I think that it's your opportunity to treat people well as you can, and to make their journey as painless as possible, because it's difficult being down there when you don't go into court regularly and you're there. And you know, the thing that's wonderful is we have one of the most beautiful courthouses in the world, and people need to come down and see them if they haven't.
Sounds good. Our time is up for this edition of Legalese. I would like to thank our guest for taking time out of her busy schedule to be with us and for sharing her thoughts and insights. If you would like more information about Legalese or any other program on GHS TV, please refer to our website at www.ghstv.org. Thank you for joining us today, and be sure to join us next month for more discussion on legal topics. Until then, I am Vince Perryman. Thank you for watching.